Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP, but I got to talk about two things before I get started. Number one, I did a video on the World Economic Forum and the Great Reset the other day. And I had a video in there of that Noah Huvari with an updated video of him talking about the chip under the skin and hacking humans. And for the first time ever, I had to take that video clip out of the video. So is the World Economic Forum, giving pushback on the so-called misinformation about the World Economic Forum? I have no idea, but I just thought I would clear that up. Number two, I did a video today and I talked about what if Ripple was to lose to the SEC and how it could become a major, shakeout of retail investors out of XRP before XRP is given the green light to take off. Now, some of you, if you watched that video, you might think I was fudding a little bit, but I'm not. If you haven't been paying attention yet, when I make an XRP video, I need to remind you every single time you are holding the greatest cryptocurrency of all time for cross-border payments. And you need to hold on to your XRP for dear life. Even if Ripple loses that case, you need to continue holding your XRP. That's the most important thing I wanted to stress in that video when I did it. And I wanted to give you a different scenario because, again, nobody really knows what's going on. Anybody who talks about the Ripple case is speculating one way or another. Even if we have some facts around it, it's still mostly speculation yet until that judge makes that decision. So JP Morgan says the release of the Hinman documents in the SEC Gov versus Ripple case is a boost to the Ether and will likely trigger a race for decentralization in the crypto market. How many of you are honestly tired of JP Morgan getting their own way? Here in the United States, our government needs to separate themselves from the big banks. This way, me and you can get a level playing field. And because as long as that goes hand in hand with the government and the big banks working together, me and you end up paying for all of it in the end through our taxes, through inflation, through everything else that's going on, through people losing their money at smaller banks so they could get consolidated into the bigger banks at the same time. And what's going on here is no different. It's another win for JP Morgan. So what they want to do is put Ethereum into the other category. So now you have security, other, non-security. And if Ethereum falls into there, why does XRP not fall into there? Because it's all about letting Ethereum push ahead without legal action. That's what this all comes down to. China's digital yuan sees dismal adoption in Hong Kong. So it looks like the Chinese yuan isn't going so well over in Hong Kong. China's offering a 20% discount on purchases in over 1,400 stores across the state to lure users. However, as local media reports, the physical digital yuan cards have failed to take off. 4 days after they launched, only 625 Hong Kong residents had obtained them. I wonder if the same is going to happen around FedNow here in the U.S. IMF initiates development of a global digital currency platform. So even though cryptocurrencies don't receive the warmest welcome globally, CBDCs are flourishing. Central bank digital currencies have received increased attention in recent months. Global regulators and policymakers have dedicated their efforts to exploring and evaluating this emerging technology. Now, according to the latest reports, the IMF is developing a platform for central bank digital currencies. IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva stated that the IMF is developing the platform to facilitate easier transactions between countries or cross-border payments. And even though they don't name XRP here, we know it's all about XRP. So I'm going to play a video from Jess Chang. Now, this is very important because she's also working with FedNow. So this is her in 2018 presenting to the IMF, who wrote Ripple payment rules and worked on the core infrastructure of FedNow. Take a listen.
Other category of fintech innovation in payments is where you have a whole new payment method. A new way for money to move that's different from anything we've seen before. So this could be crypto assets, or it could be a blockchain-based payment solution. And this is a space that I worked in at Ripple. And it's this space that I personally find fascinating and exciting. What's important about this category of fintech innovation is that you have a new way for value to flow. What's new is an opening up of the type of connections between people, institutions, entities all around the world. This is really important for cross-border payments. Payments generally flow pretty freely when it's just within a country, especially when people happen to have accounts with the same bank. But for payments from one country to another, that's where you run into inefficiencies and frictions. A foundation that can be legally enforced. A basis for trust. I wrote the payment rules for Ripple Solution, and I can tell you all about how I dealt with that spinny wheel. But there is something very deeply rewarding about creating clarity and certainty out of chaos. Crypto assets and blockchain, when they're used in the context of cross-border payments, they can create new paths for value to more efficiently flow around the world. There are real problems in cross-border payments that fintech can uniquely solve for. There are real needs. So that's one takeaway I want to leave you with. The promise of fintech is real.
Take notice how she said value moving between countries. And that's why I said XRP does not need to be backed by anything, because it's going to move value on a daily basis from one country to another country. If China has a gold-backed digital yuan and the US has a gold-backed, I don't know, USDC, it has to move the value of that money. So it can't be at a cheap price. Now, this was her in 2018 presenting to the IMF. Now, this is her also talking about the core of FedNow, explaining how banks can use XRP.
Alpha Bank and with Beta Bank. But what if there were a way for Alpha Bank and Beta Bank to connect without even needing that? They could use, say, XRP. So this is the digital asset that's native to the Ripple Consensus Ledger. They could use that as a bridging tool.
Take notice how she said it could be used as a bridging tool, and she talked clearly about XRP. Well, she's also the same person pictured right here, Jess Chang. And this is that famous picture where you see Christine Lagarde and Brad Garlinghouse. And that's why I said the future has already been written for XRP. This case does not really mean anything. It's just a matter of them trying to shake you out still. Because what causes people to sell their XRP is the time waiting. If you're patient enough and you're positive enough in what you hold, you can continue holding as long as it takes to get rich from your investment. But if you're one of those impatient people that come into crypto thinking you're going to get rich overnight, crypto is not for you. You will end up being broke in the end, because you'll want to sell this cryptocurrency to chase a meme coin, or sell your XRP to go chase Bitcoin or something else. And all day long, you'll be chasing, the fact of trying to get rich, when the way to get rich is sitting right there in front of you, and that is XRP. And again, Ripple is hiring once again 61 open roles. Now, I look through here and there's a lot of roles, and there is even some in the United States. And like I said in a previous video, that I think the infrastructure for RippleNet and XRP in the United States, it's already complete. I think that is already built out. And I think what we're going to see at the end of all of this, at some point, XRP is going to get the green light in the US. Then there will be no more delay. They'll be utilizing it on a daily basis. The never-ending SEC versus XRP case might be coming to an end. Some experts claim for the final date to come between the 2nd and 3rd of July. Here we go again with dates being put on this case. Nobody should put any date on it because nobody knows for sure. You could speculate how things look. You could say, well, this judge should make a decision on this date or that date. But those days come and they go, and people get all hyped up around them, only to be disappointed in the end. And that's another thing that shakes people out of crypto. Another day, another crypto scam, this time starring XRP. I got this email this morning, probably from the Ledger breach or Gemini breach. If you receive an email that's titled the allocation program from the Ripple team, it's not real. It's a phishing attempt to get your account and drain your XRP. If you know friends that are in XRP, make sure you give them a tag and warn them. You know, we're going to see scams popping up left and right, especially once XRP really starts to move in price. And you got to be ready for it. Do not click on anything that seems too good to be true. I cannot stress that enough. And definitely get your crypto off the exchanges. It's interesting to see Ripple and XRP in a lot of the same places as XDC. Just look at the companies and at the XDC conference below. PolySign, Uphold, Xspectre, Accenture, etc. Also, these partnerships, Global ID, SBI, Flare Finance, over Ledger. Remember, I've been telling you for a while now how these cryptocurrencies are all going to play their part in the new financial system. They are not fighting each other in any way. They're going to work together, because that's how this system is going to work in the future. And that's also why I tell you, diversify. If you really want to handle all the cryptocurrencies, you got to buy into the other ISO coins. They are all going to offer great passive income in the future. United Nations planning digital ID linked to bank accounts. And you know, this does not seem to ever come to an end. They want you to get this digital ID so bad. And that's how I know it's not good for anyone. This is how you go from being free to being a slave to the system. So the goal of the briefs is to advance UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres' vision for the future, officially titled Our Common Agenda. His vision should be given the green light in September of 2024 during an event dubbed the Summit for the Future. Digital IDs linked with bank account or mobile money accounts can improve the delivery of social protection coverage and serve to better reach eligible beneficiaries. Digital technologies may help to reduce leakage, errors, and cost in the design of social protection programs. You ever take notice how they always try to sell it like it's going to improve your life somehow? And you know better, because you have eyes open. You see right through this. And I wanted to point out that video today of Jess Chang, because she's working with FedNow. And that other video I did, I talked about how the groundwork could already be laid out in the United States. If she's there talking with the Fed, you know Ripple's going to be part of that system. Why else would she even be there? You know, a lot of people think you need to have this major announcement come from Jerome Powell saying, hey, we're going to use RippleNet. It's not going to work like that in the U.S. Everything is kept secret here until the last moment. Sure, you might hear about this blockchain or that or this, project working with the Fed. But like I always told you, anything that looks like it's going to be the next XRP killer, most likely it's just FUD. most likely it just shakes more people out of their XRP. And I think that's what's really going on. I think this whole government, everybody in the United States, even the SEC and the big banks, all working together to shake me and you out of our XRP holdings. And you need to hold on for dear life. And definitely don't fall for any scams. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.